Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fallout Roundtable. This is a place where diverse individuals discuss various topics from the Fallout universe. Join us, the conversation has already started.
Welcome to the Fallout Roundtable. I am your host, Maverick Stone, and today we got another great episode. Let me introduce you to you guys, to the crew. We got Jaxus, Gingerino, and we got Sassy Lady. Everyone, the crew say hello.
Except for Romer.
Hello.
Hello.
Except for Romer. But before I introduce our two very special guests today, if you like our shenanigans, if you like anything that we do on this show, please rate, review, and subscribe. 5 stars on Spotify. Go to Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review.
And if you don't like what we do, thanks for sticking with us this far, I guess.
Thank you.
That's good.
Anyway, so what are we doing today? What are we talking about? What's going on?
Forgot about our Twitter at FalloutRTB. And then you forgot that they can send us messages on our email at followrtb@gmail.com.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm forgetful.
I will forgive you this time.
Okay.
Okay. Now do your thing.
Okay.
Today I have two guests, and I met these fine lads at an event that we just went to. We went to the Real Life Fashnut in Real Life, Helvetia, West Virginia, this past weekend. And we hooked up with a lot of people, but these two fine folk decided to come on the show this weekend and hang out, or today, and to hang out with us. Oh, here's check out Knight Taylor showing off his gift from Ma Tater. She gave us, oh gosh, we could talk all night about what we did at Fashnuts. We met a bunch of people that we know online or on, Twitter, or we watch stream on Twitch, or we watch on YouTube, and we got to meet these people in real life. We got to hang out at the real life event. We got to see the actual location and take a bunch of pictures. And I hooked up with a lot of people that hopefully will get on the show one of these days, things working out. Today, I have with you Knight Taylor, and he's hanging out with us today. And I also have Chipmunk of the Chipmunk Show. If you've not seen that on YouTube, you're really missing out. So we're going to let Chip take away, and he's going to tell us what he does and talk about that right now. And why was somebody like Chip in the eastern part of the country?
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it greatly. Yes, I do the Chipmunk Show. It started like many things that we do out of COVID, because I come from a TV and film background, and I had just started. Well, I take that back. I spent 7 years developing our final indie project. It's a big Pony Express feature film. And after years and years and years of all kinds of development and lawyers and everything else that goes into that, we were just about to go when COVID hit. And it was pretty devastating at first because we couldn't get it. It just shut down, mainly because you couldn't get insurance. But beside the point, that's when we started playing 76, my wife and I. And of course, we fell in love with it. And about 2 weeks in, I'm like, if you take the HUD graphics off, you basically, your character's a camera. So why don't we do something in there? And we had a couple more friends that were playing. They're like, well, what would we do? And I said, well, of course we would do a sitcom. And we did, and I went and wrote it, and never planned on doing much with it, but it just started growing, and we fell in love with the characters, and we just wrote a first season, and then went and shot that all year long the first year, and then went into the second season. And it brought me back creatively in a big way, because it was finally got to do something, that we had control of again, and just had so much fun. And it took me back to my high school days of filming James Bond movies and Star Wars movies, because it had that same feel. It was just, let's get together, we'll make a movie, and we'll have fun. And I've had the best times doing that show in the game. And then when New Vegas Day came up last year.
See, I thought that was the beginning, personally, because when I met you, it was your first episode of you going to the different locations around Vegas, and I thought that was the beginning of it all, because that's when I got introduced to. That's when you hit me up, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, okay, this is really cool." And so I tried to spread it around a little bit. I didn't find out till later that you had actually been doing stuff beforehand.
Yeah, and that was, and thank you for saying that, because the travel show ended up just being a spin-off of the sitcom in a way. The only correlation is the main character of me. But what I did was, when we went out to Good Springs for the New Vegas Day, I had already done, years ago, I had done photography of the locations, but the head was bad and I never really liked it. And then I saw Ace's, heard the work she's done, and it is marvelous work. And we started talking, and I'm like, well, you've cornered this, and I really don't want to do that. But maybe I've talked about doing a video, so maybe I'll do a video. And once I got to meet Steven at the Pioneer Saloon, and once he and I got talking, man, did we click. And I'm like, what do you think if I do a pilot episode in Good Springs? Would you be open to that? And he's like, oh, sure, no problem. So I went out and did it. And as soon as it happened, I'm like, I don't want it just to be a show about the locations. I wanted to give context to the locations, because I had two goals. It was to celebrate the designers and the work they do, for all the people that have been involved in creating this vision. And secondly, I wanted to give real world context to gamers playing the games, because many people don't even know all these places, for the most part, really exist, and they are fantastic to visit and see. So then it evolved into, well, we'll do that. We'll show the locations, we'll mix it with the in-game footage, but we'll also give history. And it just went from there. And when we started doing the history elements, that's when like the National Atomic Testing Museum opened up to us, and a number of people have at this point. And then we started promoting these businesses like the Mount Charleston retreat, or the retreat on Mount Charleston, which is our Christmas episode. So it's kind of grown in a really wonderful way. And right now we're halfway through the New Vegas season, which is season 1. We've done 14 episodes. We've got 12 more to go. And then obviously the cat's out of the bag. Our season 2 is West Virginia. And we started, because Fosnacht came up, and I didn't realize, I thought it was in the fall, but what do I know? So I had to rush out there and get it. But we did 10 locations over the weekend, including the whole Fosnacht celebration. So season 2 is already well on its way. And then my wife and I are going to go back in the fall and shoot for 2 weeks and get hopefully everything we can. So we should have plenty.
Fall will be nice too. It's so pretty in the fall.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
And a
I
little
had
more
so
like the
much fun with
game.
you guys.
Oh, we had a blast. And if you, let's see, I don't know if the game meetups like they did this year are going to be, what was it? Do you remember, Taylor? Was it like October?
The 25th year meetup?
Yeah, the 25th. Because I don't know,
Yeah,
like some people were talking
October.
about doing it like every year. So if that coincided, like you'll probably be able to run into lots of people.
Well, one of the
Again,
cool things that happened, I don't know if I just didn't get much time to spend with you guys, because we had to
I feel
leave.
like I didn't have enough time to spend with anyone. It was such a whirlwind day. I kind of
I
wish it was
know,
a multi-day
yeah.
thing,
I
because I
would've-
just missed out on so much.
Yeah, I know. It was, and if, like I said, if I had my normal people, if Linda or Reg or any of my guys had been there, we'd have stayed all night. But it was my nephew and his fiance, she didn't want to stay, and I'm like, come on.
Oh wow!
These
Oh, we
people,
could
I
have
don't care
taken
if
you
they
back
leave.
to
They
wherever
have
you were
fun.
staying. I mean,
I know, but
anybody
anyway.
would have helped you out. I mean, the thing is, with people like you and the guys from North Dakota and stuff, like nobody could hang out with them because they were just being stopped by every single person. Can I get a picture? Can I da 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 da? You know, everybody wanted to like talk to you guys, because I know every time I was like trying to talk to the guys from North Dakota that were dressed as the NCR Rangers, who were amazing, by the way. It was like every 5 seconds they're like, oh, hey, yeah, hang on. It was like you couldn't it was like, yeah, we'll catch you later. I didn't even get a chance to really talk to them until they took all their gear off and we were standing next to their car.
Yeah.
That
Did
was
you
when
by
we could
chance give
actually
them
talk
that
to them.
email address?
I hope it wasn't the car the cops
Them?
were at.
Yeah, I have their I follow them on Instagram, so I can like.
No, did you send them the email address I sent to you? I sent you
Not
an yeah, because I sent you an email address of the NCR group that was actually there at Good Springs.
Not yet, but I will do
Yeah.
that because they are the last people that I haven't touched base with about.
That way they can connect and kind of figure something out as an NCR group.
But they will also they've also agreed to come on the show, so I have to touch base with them at some point.
By the
Everybody
way,
I talked to was really open, like, yeah, I'll come on the show. It was great. Yeah.
The day before we were up in Grafton and it was rainy, but it wasn't too bad at that point. And we shot all of Grafton. And as we're walking back to the car, this guy comes out and he goes, "Oh my God." He goes, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure, no problem." So he's a big Fallout fan and we're talking. And then this woman comes out from another shop and she was asking what it was. And we were talking the whole time. I was there with them for like 2.5, 3 hours. We went over to the Toad, that little alley where the protest march takes place.
Oh yeah.
Everything is exact. Anyway, and this is big. And it's going to debut here. They're doing a cryptid day on October 6th of next year, which is in our schedule. Once we got to talking, she's like, "We really want to bring Fallout into the town. Could you help with that?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't represent Bethesda.
Right.
I know people and I know the Best Virginian would be all over this. Yes, we can help you and we can bring this." Once they're right now, we're trying to go into the planning stages of this because we're going to make it more of a Grafton Day, a Fallout Day. They've got a 3D printer up there making a life-size Grafton monster for it. I said, "We need to have the Scorch. We need to do the protest march. Let's get it into a more Fallout thing." Because I said, you've got Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Boston, Washington, all these, Cincinnati, Charleston, all these cities, people will come to this. And their town's not ready for it, but neither was Good Spring. So it's like, we can do this. So
that's so cool. They're going to have like the whole Grafton Day. Are they going to have the mayor, like, Mayor Grafton? You know, that whole thing.
They have to. It would.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it'll be a Fallout. It'll be Woodstock for Fallout if it's done right. So,
well, you got to make sure that they do. So, what we were planning at the Good Springs, I don't know if you were part of that, Chip, but we're going to make sure that we do it kind of almost like a Renaissance fair with booths and things like that, setting up where they'll be able, because we had some guys who do, they don't necessarily just straight up do Fallout stuff. It's actually wasteland elements.
Yeah.
So they make jewelry and wallets and kind of like your flask that you've got there. And some of the other elements that are like that, and they actually sell them in booths. And that would be something that would be able to generate to make it a more sustainable thing. Because you got to make money. If you're not making money, it won't exist. It won't.
That's what I was surprised that they didn't really do at Helvetia. Now, I saw a couple of booths, but they could have had people out there like selling masks. They could have had people out there selling, you know, West Virginia crafts and things like that, because people like go to those things and they expect to spend money. I mean, I bought some souvenirs in the place where we had to get tickets, and you had to get tickets for your food and stuff.
It's all part of you got to get through all the logistics of all that kind of stuff.
I don't know if they just understand like how big it is and like how big of an appeal it is to outsiders. I think they're still getting used to outsiders.
To a point, but Clara, who I danced with, she's the organizer and she's one of the big historians. She invited me there that was the agreement, by the way. If I danced with her, I had full access to everything. So I'm like,
oh, wow.
Why wouldn't I? Because it's comedy gold anyway. I mean,
right.
I can't dance to save my life. And I did, and it was fine.
I don't know. Everybody seemed to be having a good time.
I wrote her a letter the day I got back thanking her. And let me find it here real quick, because I have to share this with you guys. She responded with a very gracious letter. She said, blah, blah, blah. "You reciprocated and brought the same spirit to Helvetia. We can't thank you enough. Generally, I want you to know how much the community has felt love and from the Fallout 76 gamers and the Fosnock Revelers. Specifically, the 76ers are a kind, neat, and generous crew. To give you some context, this was by far the largest crowd we've ever seen at Fosnock, in part due to the 76ers attendance. In fact, it is the largest number of people we've ever seen in Helvetia in one time in our lifetime. And yet the village was safe, neat, and treated with the utmost respect. In past years, revelers have helped pick up in the morning after, as did the 76ers, bagging and leaving in the near community buildings, blah, blah, blah. And she goes on from there, but she loves the 76, the Fallout community. And we were talking after that, but I told her that is very much the spirit of the Fallout community, no matter where you go. And we saw it in Good Springs. They bring the spirit of the game, but they are such a caring and giving community.
Yeah.
And she knows what they've got there. They recognize the potential. She told me there have been years when there have been 6 people. Some years they get 30.
Oh, wow.
But until 76, they never got crowds like this. And they know they'll build it up, but it's like that. It's funny, Jack says, because my thing about Good Springs, and I've talked to Steve.
Same thing happened there. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but what I told him was, and we've become really good friends, but I said, let it be what it was. Don't let it grow into Comic-Con. You want the crowds, you're going to make a fortune, but keep the spirit of the wasteland as the driving force, because that's what he had.
Yeah,
and it was
just with the bar and people drinking and having food and all that community element, and then obviously the cosplay. I mean, dude, when that guy came down, when he had the Brotherhood of Steel armor on,
the power armor guy,
the power armor. I mean, dude, that was amazing. The guy literally was almost 7 foot tall from that stuff.
Wow.
And like just having a couple booths out there, keeping it kind of like Renaissance fairish kind of, walk through kind of thing, and keeping it as simple as possible, I think is the key to that. And that's what Steven was trying to do. Like, he wanted to grow it. He's been talking about expanding the back end of the bar and creating a larger kitchen and stuff too. And then I was like, well, why don't we come up with a recipe for like Mile cakes and things like that? And he's like, yeah, he's all over it. Steven's a very, very, he's a very
he's the atomic cowboy.
He exactly. He's a character, man. That guy is funny.
He is.
Yeah.
Did you see the commercial I shot for him? Because it ran in the Vegas market.
Yeah, it did actually. Yeah. I've seen the commercial. And then we had Old Man Pete and all that. Yeah.
Yes. We went out, we shot it in an hour, and I came home and edited it in 2 hours and got it back to him, because that was how tight the schedule was.
Wow.
And my wife did the politician in the parlor in our room downstairs. I love that commercial, and that's what did it, because afterwards he's like, oh my God, anything you want. And I'm like, Steven, all I want is a booth, because we got to do Follow for Hope, and we're going to combine it this year, and that would be great. And he's like, oh, of course, of course, no problem. So yeah, he is, but you got to meet him. He is, like you said, and that's why I call him the Atomic Cowboy.
I still can't get over the shoes, man. You remember his shoes? The shoes he was wearing.
The suits.
Yeah, dude, his shoes were killed me.
All right, now you got to share. What was he wearing?
Oh, he had these cowboy boots on, and like they were full of like these spiky rhinestones and stuff. Like, if a light hit his shoes, it would blind you. Like, they were amazing. Like, it's just his outfit was cool. He really fit in really well with the crowd. That was
urban cowboy.
Oh, yeah. And he's a rock. He used to be in a rock band. He knows business really well, and he knows what works. He brings the history of the Pioneer Saloon, the Old West history, the Fallout, pop culture to it. All of it combined, and makes it the spirit in that place is unbelievable. If he could get me, well, I was drunk, but singing Big Iron Twice karaoke in that costume with the head. I
had to leave. I was so upset when I watched some of the video that TKS Mantis put up, and I was like upset, because I was like, I missed all that. Like, these guys were, because I had to get my kids home. It's like, should have left the kids at home, but no. My kids loved it. I mean, my kids went through all of the areas there. They got to play with some of the guns and things. And my daughter dressed up in an outfit she thought was kind of Fallout-ish. I thought it was really neat. So
cool.
we got there late this year, but we're going to be there all weekend. The next one. So we'll see it for sure. Did you get to see Gary, the kid who won the contest, the costume contest?
Yeah, well, okay, so
Gary?
I saw him before he won the contest.
Oh,
Like before, because I left just about at the time when they were actually doing the voting for the contest on stage.
It was my favorite moment because, and to put it into context for you guys, there were mind-blowing costumes. There's some brilliant costumes that
And
were
then
just
there's
to the
Gary.
detail, the power armor,
Yeah.
the guy with the
Yeah.
the top hat and all that. And they
I saw
any
some
other
bennies that looked
circumstance,
pretty
they
good.
would have won. But this kid had he had a vault suit on. It was just like a jumpsuit. It wasn't anything really, it looked like a vault suit to a point, but it wasn't great. But he got up on stage, they gave him a sympathy applause, and all of a sudden he turned and he goes, Gary. And then it just went from there. The crowd started chanting, Gary, Gary.
Gary?
And it just he bought that crowd and he won. And it was like
Oh,
best
wow.
moment of the day because he was on cloud nine. He was so
He was in
happy.
character.
Oh, he was great. That was so fun.
I think we might have seen more cosplay in Helvetia if the weather had cooperated, because I know I had planned to. I got everything I needed, and then I was like, nope, not wearing a poodle skirt with 30 degrees, and wind blowing up my skirt. However,
Same.
Chip
I don't
wore
have
shorts
pneumonia.
all day.
I'm
I don't
still
know
up.
how. Your legs have to have been frozen.
Some people just wear shorts all the time. I see.
You would have thought he was from Canada, like yourself, but no.
Well, that's what
Excuse
I
me.
was like, oh my God, he's still
Or
he's
Wisconsin.
alive.
Yeah, I kept getting told all day long by Mr. Wisconsin over here, this isn't cold. This is nice.
That's why they had a bonfire for you.
Oh,
you go.
gosh.
Try to get a wee wimp save you there.
Yeah, my blood is thin. Sorry. But I was just like, oh, if it had been Sunday when it was 60 something?
Yeah, like 65.
Absolutely would have worn my poodle skirt. I would have been Mags. It would have been amazing. And I'm so sad that I couldn't wear my.
What was the temperature?
It was like, I think the
31?
high was maybe 40.
Yeah, I think I got up to like 40.
Maybe. But when we left the hotel, it was 28. And I was like, heck no, this girl ain't wearing a skirt. It was a short sleeves, very thin top, and a poodle skirt with crinoline. That was what I was going to wear.
Yeah, that's cool. I wouldn't have done that.
Cool is right, man.
I had to do the conversion quick just so I understood what it was.
Oh, cold.
Yes, it's like
it was cold.
It's colder
Ginger,
than
cold.
colder than a refrigerator.
Yes,
typically. So there you go.
Very much so. My feet were like blocks of ice, and of course, I was like 40, maybe, but then it's going to get dark. No, it's just not going to happen. And oh my gosh, I mean, we warmed up. Finally, we went into the dance hall. It was like, oh, it's so warm in here.
Yeah, and then we almost got crushed.
Of course, we all thought we were going to die. Yeah. So
What?
I think
Yep.
you missed this part, Chip.
Oh,
So
this is good.
we all went down in the lower level of the dance hall, and everybody's dancing upstairs, right? And we're down there talking, and we realize, we're sitting with our hands on the table, and we realize our arms are going, and like the whole ceiling is bouncing, and those big, what were they, like 4x4, 6x6 pillars were like
bouncing up
because
and down.
everybody upstairs was like doing square dancing and stuff and whatever, and it was just like everything was
Oh,
and we were
man.
like, wow, like, is this floor gonna cave in? So then we started talking about how, like, this big section of, not big, I guess, but this section of the Fallout community was all going to be like trapped under this collapse. You know how old these buildings are. Okay, these old buildings are old. Like, we were going to
become a ghoul if you get stuck
buried
down
and collapsed under here. Well, we thought maybe Fallout would add a little memorial to us in the game. The
Hey,
Fallout
they did that
7.
with Fallout 4 with that one guy in Nuka
They
World. I don't remember
did.
his name, but
What was that
Yeah,
one?
he had
Taylor?
there was a guy that he was a big fan of Fallout, and he passed away, and his brother or friend wrote to
something
Bethesda
like that.
about it, and they made him like his own little memorial. It's like on top
trailer
of
outside.
it's on top of a trailer in Nuka World, right?
Yeah, just
Am I
outside
right?
of the Nuka World, but it's in the Nuka World DLC.
Yeah, he got
Oh, cool.
like, there's a little place that's like just his, and I know they added wheelchairs to the game because someone asked.
Yeah.
Into 76, it's like, hey, we could get a plaque in Helvetia, for the Great Collapse, and took out the Fallout 7. It was crazy though. We tried to
Yeah, it
video
was-
it because it was
ugh.
just like, oh my gosh, you know, it's just
Yeah.
like we were just like, it was like, whoa, check this out. You can tell in the video, BV's sitting there with his arm on the table, and you can see him like moving like this. It
Yeah.
was pretty wild.
I don't know what they were doing up there, but geez.
Yeah, they were.
Well,
Having, we
right
did
now-
decide to go upstairs to see it. It looked pretty innocuous. It was just wild.
Right now, I think we need to take a quick little pause
Yeah.
and take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Ever wanted to be a content creator but had no clue where to begin? Come join me as I sit down with content creators that have already faced the challenges you're up against, as they discuss the tips and tricks that help them be successful. Here on The Content Creator's Guide, available wherever podcasts can be found.
Hi, everybody. We're back. We're here to do the show. See, it's happening right now. All right, cool.
Oh wait, we weren't recording this whole time. Oh man, that was some of my best
Yeah.
material.
Oh,
Oh well.
Yeah, see, now you guys stop swearing.
Yeah, I know. That's for our OnlyFans account that we keep talking about.
Well,
we
we'll
can't
probably
find
never
that was
have-
Weirsy's.
Weirsy's job.
Yeah,
and
that's
he's-
Weirsy's job. And he's
I know.
Apparently
Find him.
skipped town.
Hell off the face of the earth, this guy. All right.
So Weirsy, if you're out there, we're concerned. Please
Yeah.
write us back.
We're gonna start a hashtag find Weirzy.
Yes.
find Weirzy.
Okay.
I think we should buy him a Waldo hat.
We need to
Yes.
do something.
I
We
agree.
need to do something.
I agree on all counts.
My dog is trying to get to something.
Okay, I thought you were just like,
She's
I'm gonna
freaking
do
me
my
out.
calisthenics now in the
No,
middle of
she's like-
podcasting.
I was like, what are you doing? She's under my chair. I'm like, what are you doing? She's not a small dog. So I was like, what are you trying to do? I know what she's after. My husband brought me a piece of cheesecake left over from my birthday.
Oh, happy
Crap.
birthday.
Why, thank you. That was my birthday trip, was going to Helvetia and getting to hang out all weekend in West Virginia with my kid. I took him with me. We just ran all over West Virginia. I think many people did, because if they bothered to go and show up, they hit at least, a couple spots in West Virginia.
I went through
Hi,
West
Taylor.
Virginia this last week.
Did you stop at anything?
No,
No,
I had to go to
Truck
North
for a living.
Carolina.
He ain't got
Yeah,
time
he
for
saw the
that.
interstate.
Well,
the
yes, he does
interstate.
have a
Yeah, yeah. I
schedule.
saw the interstate exit to it.
Yep. Well, we
Y-
Yeah, good luck
there
driving a
was
semi
more-
to Helvetia.
Yeah, goodness.
Them roads, holy
oh.
cow.
Yeah, all dumb hills and low bridges.
We came in from Snowshoe and took a road called Turkey Bone Road. It is unmaintained, so it's a dirt road all the way.
Oh.
Like 7
Oh, wow.
miles
oh,
through.
that's right. You guys came in a weird way.
Yeah,
Turkey Bone Road.
That's
never
funny.
did. It was a joy.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't come in that way, especially going out at night, because that is a very
I told the-
hilly country
I
Yeah,
told
you don't
when we
pay
were
attention, you're off the
finished
road in about
last
2
week,
Yep.
seconds.
for
Oh
sure.
yeah, no, yeah.
there were some state troopers by that accident or whatever it was in the corner there, and I asked them, and they're like, "Well, how'd you come in?" And I'm like, "I came in on the Turkey Bone Road." They just looked at me and like, "Oh no."
Yeah, no, don't go that way. Don't go that way.
Oh, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
We
What
came in the
were
other
you
side of
thinking,
town.
outsider?
Yeah, I don't know how your GPS got you up that way, because it didn't take me that way.
No.
But every time,
That's
like,
so weird.
we just kept driving and driving and driving, and it was like, I really.
Oh, I
hope
lost the
there's a
GPS
town at the
access
end of
about 10 miles from Helvetia because I had no quiet zone. So it's like, oh, well, now
I
we're on
kept
our
it all
own.
the way there. I was shocked because I screenshotted because BV said you won't have
Yeah.
access, but it worked all the way there. Now, once I got there,
Yeah,
forget it. Like,
nothing.
so funny because Maud keeps going, oh, am I following you on? Oh, I can't get in my phone. Oh, let's take. No, we can't do it. I'm like, girlfriend, you got no access.
Let's live stream. It's like,
Yeah,
good luck with that.
yeah, it's not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
good luck with that.
Taylor, tell us
I-
what you thought of Helvetia and
Oh,
stuff.
well, I had to wait for, the day, what was it? Saturday. I had to wait for Penny because we actually rode together because we stayed at the same hotel. So I had to wait for her. But before we even went to Helvetia, we actually stopped at the Trans Allegheny Asylum, which
That's
was actually
right.
about 3 miles away from our hotel. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just go stop at that. It'll take us like 10 minutes. And then we drove to Helvetia. We showed up about, I don't know, what was it, 5 o'clock?
5, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And then we had to wait in line at that was it that town hall or whatever, get our
Mhm.
tickets. But other than that, we walked around, saw all the decorations, saw so many people dressed up in cosplay. I think about probably a good third of the crowd was dressed up with Fallout stuff. And
I was putting
Um,
it more at like 50% or more.
Did you
That's
have
what I
to-
thought.
that.
You're like, these
Did
are
you
my
have to get
people.
tickets?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you had to have tickets to go to the dance.
Yeah, you had to have like the yellow
Oh, yeah,
wristband or
I-
whatever.
Yellow band. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was like, I'm just walking around talking to people and I'm like, where do we get tickets? Like, why do we need tickets and everything?
Get-
So we finally
get
got around to doing
this.
that.
I-
Yeah, I
In fact,
got there
somebody brought
about,
their survival tent.
that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember
Uh,
their names, but yeah,
I
they
forget
set
that
up like
guy's
that
name.
little Fallout camp just by the fences there.
Mhm. I heard
I
he was
went-
giving out cookies. I didn't get cookies.
What?
Yeah.
No, I didn't get cookies either.
Yeah, I heard
Cookies?
they were like, "Oh, they had cookies," and I was like, "Get the heck! I didn't get cookies."
Well, and apparently
But
Mom
BB
bought a bunch
gave
of
out
stuff
pepperoni
before. I think they ran out before we even showed up.
Oh, they
She
probably
bought them at those
did.
little booths, and she bought like a Helvetia mug and some other goodies that she was showing off on stream the other day. It was like, we're
We
I
bought a
must have-
bunch of stuff. Like Ma and I went to get our tickets together, and they had that whole souvenir thing. We got
oh yeah,
the little lantern and T-shirt and some like pin and stickers, and I don't even remember where mine are.
I'm
to
glad
be honest.
Ma's
By the
lantern
way, did you
survived because
guys-
Penny
Oh,
destroyed
yeah.
hers.
Mine.
guys
That's why I
see-
didn't even open mine
Yeah, no,
till I got home. I saw what she did, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bring it home." I
Yeah,
thought
I
for sure
know.
I'd set mine on fire, which was why I was like, "No, wait till I get home."
right.
Did you guys see the guy that I interviewed him? But he was one of the creators of the original masks.
Which
I-
one?
Wait, really?
Yeah, John. He was there. He did a number of them that Bethesda used in the game, and there's a number of them displayed in that store.
I took a ton of
Oh.
pictures
I happened
of
to
the
run
ones
into-
in there, and they're so good. I didn't talk to anybody who, I mean, I talked to a
loaded-
couple of the community members that made masks, the girl that had the jester mask, and then the guy with her that
Oh.
had the frog mask. And I was like, oh my gosh, how long did it
I
take
will
you to
say
do
though,
these?
the best cosplay there.
So good.
Let's talk about it. The hermit
Let's talk
crab.
about the hermit
Yeah, the
crab.
hermit
Yes.
crab.
Holy
Oh
cow.
my goodness,
That was a
thing
whole
was
thing.
amazing.
Right.
That was an outfit. That was not a mask. It was like his whole body.
Yeah,
and then
his whole
he
body
stuck
was a
his
crab, and then
and
he
he
had
stuck
his
his
like
hind end
truck
into
that
a
even
truck
lit up in the back.
and
Like, he had
walked
this
around
lights in the
with
back.
it.
It was awesome.
It was great.
It was amazing.
It was
So-
so good. Oh my
It was-
gosh. It was amazing.
Fantastic. He was
it
the
was-
best. I hope he
Did
comes
he?
around.
And I don't think he got a flag.
I don't know.
I didn't get a flag. I
What
was going to,
the heck?
I didn't even know they were giving out flags. They didn't announce anything.
They
Well,
walked
when
in
they
and
were all
looked at me, they
standing over
looked at
there
me.
getting judged before the
Oh.
parade,
That's
like these
okay.
people were just walking around randomly handing out flags to people. And I'm like, what is this just for your favorite?
Yeah, they were doing that, and all of a sudden the parade started. I'm like, holy cow, they're just moving right along, aren't they?
Oh,
My
yeah. They
tickets
took
were-
Old Man Winter out of the gazebo and just took off with him.
Yeah, it's like, geez.
So I went over to the
No music, by the
dance
way.
hall,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, you need the stamp," and I'm like, "Well, how much is it?" And it's $10 per adult.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
fine.
10 then.
But
Yeah.
then, did you take a debit card? Of course.
No.
Me.
Uh-uh.
Nope. So they're like, well, maybe if you go to the store, you can get cash back. So I walk all the way back down to the store, and I'm thinking that's not going to happen. And then I asked them, no, we really can't. We're not set up to do that. I'm like, that's okay. Then I'm like, maybe the restaurant, but that's an even less probability. So I went down there. And now this is what I encountered all weekend in West Virginia, where just the kindest, most gracious people. And I walked in there in my Boy Scout uniform and said,
With the head on?
really
Sometimes.
Ladies.
what's that?
With your head on.
Yeah, no, I was carrying the head because otherwise it's really weird.
It's hard
So-
to get in the door, I bet.
Yes.
My own
But I told them, she's like, well, I don't know if we can. Let me ask the manager, who's the owner. And this lady comes out, and I said, I really apologize, but I was in snowshoe. There were no ATMs. So we came right over here, and I don't have cash. We need to get into the dance. So is there any way you can do cash back? She goes, well, no, but how much do you need? And I said, just $30. I said, but I can't ask. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. She's like, you're not going to get anything. She goes, please take this. And she did. She gave me $30 cash.
Wow.
Today I sent her a check for double that and sent them both Harry and David baskets. But
Wow.
I encountered that everywhere I went. The people were so kind and friendly everywhere.
Mhm.
We did multiple interviews in gas stations and stores of people telling us what pepperoni rolls are. It is comedy gold. And these people are just so genuine.
Wow.
Season 2 is going to be more like the Daily Show than it is the Chipmunk Show.
That
gonna
is
be fun.
funny. Oh, I can't
So,
wait for that.
yes.
That is the truth. I mean, we've been to a couple different places, and it's just like people, I think, are just grateful because West Virginia, let's say, they don't have a lot.
Oh, no.
The economy is not great. People there aren't rich, and it's really drawn people into the state, and it's really brought tourism into some of these towns that are barely dots on the map.
Mhm.
And,
Right.
I was amazed at the road that we came down when we left Helvetia, or when we left, our hotel. You go through Somerville, Flatwoods, you just
Mhm.
go through all these
Yep.
little towns, and they're not much. There's like nothing
No.
to them on the map.
No.
And,
What
it's just been a big boon.
There's nothing to
amazed
them in the
me
game.
was in
Right.
Clarksburg.
Yeah, I mean,
No, well, their whole economy's been based on coal forever, and
Yeah.
it's not
Right,
there
yeah.
anymore. And well, it's there, but it's just not what it was in the 30s.
It's not yeah.
But when you go into those towns, we went into Clarksburg and Grafton. There are buildings. There's one in Clarksburg, completely abandoned, windows boarded up. This huge building in New York. If this was, first of all, LA or New York, it would be renovated in a heartbeat,
Right.
and they would be selling those for $5,000 a unit.
Oh yeah.
It's like there, it's rats are living there. It's completely just abandoned. It's just stunning to see because it's such a contrast from what you're used to seeing in other states. But and the other end of it, they are the friendliest people I've ever met. I loved them, and I'm so anxious to go back now.
I have a
No.
friend that moved out of West Virginia because it's hard to find work,
Mhm.
but she still loves it.
Yeah.
And, she loved living there. She loves the state. Like, it's in her heart. It's just that it was too hard to find good work,
Yeah.
so her and her husband moved here. And I'm sure if she could go back, she would,
Yeah.
if it had the same type of paying jobs there that it does here.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Well, I told the West Virginian, you really got to get with your state officials and get them really serious about bringing Fallout into the state for tourism, because it won't have a huge impact, but it will certainly be more than what they've got now. So it could be good.
Well, I know he made a comment because, all of us have said we come to these places because BV told us to,
Mhm.
because he has talked it up, because he has gone out to these places and he's given us lore in relation to, actual lore versus the game, and the more in-depth lore. And he has commented, I know he gets a little frustrated sometimes that a lot of these places like Helvetia have been ignored by West Virginia tourism. Like, if the own state talked it up, it might be more of an attended event. But a lot of people are like, we're here because West Virginia talked about it, not because they heard anything about it from the state board of tourism, and that's kind of frustrating when the own, like, they're never going to get anything if your own state doesn't support you.
Right.
But it takes
Well,
other people.
And that's going to be our main focus of season 2 of the show, is to really promote West Virginia in these locations. And every one I'm going to put information on, we always do it like new, Vegas.com and that kind of thing, but we'll be doing a lot of that in these, and really trying to promote tourism for their state as best we can. I mean, I don't get the audience I wish I got, but who knows, maybe it'll grow. So we'll see.
Well, hopefully we can help spread
Yes,
some of that.
yes.
Hopefully we can get you some more.
I need a social media manager. Between my full-time job at Airgas and the 2 shows, and now, 2 seasons of one and the final season of the sitcom, it's like I get 5 hours of sleep on average.
Yeah.
Wow, you get a lot of sleep.
Yeah. More than
I don't know what
Penny
you guys
gets.
talking about. Just going to a bed in the game and just choose 8 hours and call it good.
Yeah. Just say
Yes.
I'm gonna sleep for 8 hours. I mean, game
Yeah,
tells
see,
you you're
Taylor
well
probably
rested, you're
doesn't
good to
sleep
go.
at
Yeah.
all, but he just he chooses that.
Well, him and Ben made a great match because I swear that girl never slept. That girl, she'd be up like super late, and then she's like back at it. Like I was watching, let's say the night we all got home, she was streaming super late, and the next morning she was like back at it again. I'm like, did you sleep?
She's probably like, yeah,
No.
about 3 hours.
It's about right, I'm sure.
I don't know how
Good
she has so
God.
much energy then.
I don't know how I don't know how
I
she
think
does
we
it.
just, as people, can't seem to not keep doing things. I mean,
Yeah.
between me doing college course stuff and podcasts and
Mhm.
the gaming itself, and like I don't ever stop.
Yeah,
It's
this stuff
like,
I love.
yeah,
I
I mean, I've got
wouldn't have
multiple
it any other
podcasts
way.
going, so I'm just out of my head. I don't know. I've lost my
We-
mind.
It's what you enjoy, like
Yeah.
this kind of stuff I enjoy. If it's something I don't really like, then it's just like, oh, I'm too tired.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like my actual my day job. I'm like,
Yeah, like
I don't
real
want
life
anything
stuff.
to do with that.
Yeah, can we
I'm
just
real-
all be full-time gamers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Just do this
I'll do
all the time.
podcasts every day. I'll do interviews forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't make me shop for people. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Sometimes, yeah.
Mm.
No, I mean, I would love to like travel to places like this and talk about this stuff. And I mean, that would just be amazing. Like, I had such a blast this weekend, and it went so fast. It was great. Yeah, it
I
was,
always
like,
wonder
really
if
awesome.
Bethesda or any of those guys in the beginning ever imagined a community growing and evolving like this.
No,
Probably
because
Todd.
they thought we'd all want to kill each other in the game. They didn't know that we would
Yeah.
actually like want to explore and stuff like
It
that
is
instead.
it's a wonderful, unique group of people that I am every day I go on the Discord. I'm just so happy to be there because these like Ped and Ken and all these people have just welcomed me so much from the beginning. And it is so different from what I knew in the studios. It is the polar
bet.
opposite world. And it's so good. And it's like
Yeah.
the studios could be making great stuff if they could possibly embrace that way of life, but they can't and they never will. But
Yeah.
that's the nature of it. But to have this in just the flow of creativity and what people are doing and creating, it's marvelous.
And it probably wouldn't happen if it wasn't for the way that Bethesda is about creators. Now,
Mhm.
Bethesda is very, very open about allowing creators, hands-on experiences where, they can use certain sounds, that other companies wouldn't allow you to use
no.
music and elements like this,
Yeah.
even the
no.
logos and the backgrounds, they would be
Nintendo
all
come
over it.
after you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
IP
you use
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Bethesda's been very generous with us, and I think
Mhm.
it has to do with the fact of how much of a loving community that we are as a whole. I mean, yeah, we've got our inner strifes, like you've got the 76ers get beat up on kind of by the New Vegas groups that are like hardcore, and I don't really get that, but it's like
I don't
Fallout
either.
as a community as a whole is great. If you don't like one of the games, okay, great, but do you have to beat us to death about it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
what
love them
about
all for
76.
different
A lot of things about
reasons.
76 is a lot of people like, oh, I don't like the game. Well, then don't play it.
Right.
You don't have to
Exactly.
play it.
But the
Yeah.
thing is that gets me is like I don't necessarily play 76 for 76. I play 76 because I get to hang out with my friends.
Exactly.
That is like literally the reason why I wanted to do it.
That is the point that they miss. And believe me, I
Uh-huh.
know exactly what you're talking about. I am despised by some of these people because here I come as a 70. It's not even 76. It's my character who happens to reside in 76 going around all New Vegas and taking ownership of these sites.
Right.
Some of them just detest that. And it's like, step back because basically I'm creating a fun show for a general audience. I love it. A lot of people love it. And it's like, just enjoy and appreciate it. I'm not going to destroy your lore, and I'm not going to, just have fun. Why can't you loosen up, people? Because I love film. I will see a terrible movie like Snakes on a Plane or Cocaine Bear and enjoy it just as much as Casablanca. I love the whole spectrum because I love entertainment. And it's like my thing with, especially with trolls, is like, oh, you're going to bitch about, this glitch or that glitch. go out and make a video game and let's see how it comes
What
out,
glitches?
pal.
Oh, I know, right?
Go
What
make a
glitches?
video
It's like,
game.
yeah, I'd love to see
Yeah.
you do it better. You know, it's like, go do it
Yes.
better if you are
It-
so, yeah.
To understand the creative process or be part of it, it obviously gives you a different perspective and it gives you a thick skin and all of that. And that's why none of that bothers me. But it's like, I just wish people were more, I mean, I know it's personality types, but there's so much to celebrate. Just enjoy it and have fun and just have fun with the games. 76 is at first it's like, I don't know. It's, open world. It scares me. And how am I ever going to, within minutes, I was like, oh, I get it. And then just my wife and I've been on ever since, every night doing the chore boards.
I'm on scorecation, thank goodness, for a week.
But yeah, I love what they do. It's a gift that we just are so blessed to have. Thank you, Bethesda.
I'm looking at your camera right now, and you kind of got stuck like this.
Your
Yeah,
camera
it's
is
like
stuck, but I'm
frozen,
just
like-
thrilled that it's not your sound.
I felt the need to like go.
Because you are doing that.
Yeah, by freeze.
Oh, hopefully not. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh. Well, at least it's your face, and it's on
Yeah.
there, and
Yeah.
Not
at
your
least-
sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
We
like,
can hear you talk. I mean, that's the
we
part
can
that
hear
matters.
you. You're
Good,
just not
good.
moving.
I just
It's all
thought it
good.
was funny. It was like you were right in this. You did this.
At least, well, one eye's half closed, so that'll be fine.
So how many places did everybody get to? Well, did we all get to in West Virginia over the
West
weekend?
Virginia.
Yeah. I don't know. Night Taylor might have a
two.
speak because he spent more time.
Oh, I gotta remember.
I did Grafton, Morgantown, University and Airport, Clarksburg, Snowshoe, which is top of the world,
Yeah, that's what it was.
Helvetia, Sutton,
I think it was 7.
and Flatwoods.
Oh, that's
So is
Okay,
Top
let's
of the
talk it
World
up.
really got a snow skiing
Hold on.
resort right there?
It is.
Yes, but it's Snowshoe.
Yeah, so Trans Allegheny Asylum,
I
Helvetia,
did that one.
Flatwoods,
What about the penitentiary?
Flatwoods Monster Museum,
I didn't do the
Summersville
museum.
Dam, New River Gorge
I didn't do
Bridge,
that.
Charleston Capitol Building, Mothman Museum.
I can say I went to Point Pleasant.
Yeah,
way
the
over.
Mothman Museum.
No, I went over the bridge.
Oh, the
Oh.
Silver Bridge.
You waved.
I
you
went
can
over
see
the
it
Silver
from
Bridge
I
too.
I waved at while
You
Mothman
can see
wants
Point
to say
Pleasant from
hi.
the bridge. Mothman says hi. He's not going to knock that bridge down, hopefully. Let's see.
I would have
I've
wanted to
been-
go to the penitentiary.
Yeah.
Yeah. the
Unfortunately, there was no
penitentiary
tours
it's on my
though, because the
list.
tours don't open until like April.
Yeah, April.
Is it
Oh.
an open penitentiary? Is there like actual convicts in there?
No, but you
No,
can go through it.
It's closed, but
it's
they,
old
they
as
give
hell.
tours,
It's old ass penitentiary.
So it's like Alcatraz.
Something like that. Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
I did Grafton Dam too, which is actually Tigard Dam, and I did an interview there with somebody from the Army Corps of Engineers.
I kept passing
Mm-hmm.
Tiger and I was like, I'll stop. But
So I didn't stop there, but I stopped at the Summersville Dam, the one that's blown
Oh,
up in
cool.
game.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right,
nice.
I forgot about that.
Although it's not concrete in real life, it's actually just like an earth-made dam. So it's just a big giant like dirt hill.
Probably why it's so easy to blow up. And get
Yeah.
in game, no.
I didn't have a mini nuke on me. I just had perfectly preserved pie. That's it.
I ate
Where did
mine.
that come from?
I ate mine at Helvetia because I was pretty
You
sure
finally
it was
got
not
it
in the
out?
last 25 years. Yeah, we had that. I'm trying to think. In the past couple of years, I've done Point Pleasant and the Mothman Museum. I did not go to the TNT domes.
Yeah, I
We
didn't go there
did.
either.
This trip we went to Morgantown so we could go to VTU. We've been to Charleston Capitol. We went through Flatwoods, but we didn't stop at the museum.
Actually,
we went-
the Flatland Museum is in Sutton. It's not in
Yeah,
Sutton,
it's in Sutton.
which
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
make
not Flatwoods.
sense.
No, because we didn't
I-
go through Sutton.
We did the 5 chairs.
But there's nothing in Flatwoods. Let me tell you, like
No,
absolutely
nothing in
I could, and
Flatwoods.
I was
Nah.
looking for the church that looked like the one in Flatwoods, and there is no church there.
It's,
It looks like
but
the
I'll
one in
tell
Flatwoods.
you, there's a town called Beverly that looks a lot more like the in-game version of Flatwoods.
Interesting.
And I have a feeling that's what they used. I'm gonna shoot that when we go back and
Well,
compare
I
the two.
know that when Mod Tater went through with Letitia Lemon, I know that there was a house in Sutton that they saw that sits up on a hill and looks a
Yep.
lot like the overseer's house.
Yeah, I taped that. It definitely is. So
Let's
there's
see, where
some
else did we
things
go? We drove out to the asylum, but we got there
Yeah.
before the tour started and we didn't take time for a tour. What else did we do? Gosh, I don't remember. Oh, we stopped at the New River Gorge
Oh yeah, that was pretty.
visitor center and saw the ice cream shop from the parking
Did you
lot.
go? So when you went to the River Gorge Bridge, did you do the drive through underneath the bridge and then go over that gray bridge at the bottom and drive back up?
No.
Oh,
How
that's
did
what
you
I
get
did.
down there
That's
for
how I had that
that?
picture from the bottom.
How did you get
And-
down? So if you go to the visitor center, you can go down. It's like 178 steps, and my kid was like, "No, I'm not going to do that." And I was
Oh
like,
no!
"If I was
but
by
if you go
myself,
back
I
on
would
the
do it."
interstate
You climb
and then
all
take a
down those
right
stairs, and
and
you
then take
could
another
like
right,
be
and
down
then
there.
there's like a road that goes down.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I took
I
it.
will check that next time. But if you were in the parking lot of the visitor center and you,
Yep.
like, there's the building. If you looked off to the left, there was an ice cream shop.
No, yep.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, I wonder if that's the cream, the spot cream, whatever creepery.
Yeah, maybe.
It's
I took
interesting to
pictures.
listen to you guys all talk about the fact that you were all there at the time.
I know we were
Yeah.
all there.
Yeah.
And
I
we were
bought
probably like,
stuff from like everywhere that I went.
I
'Cause I'm
think
like,
we were
I
even
gotta
like
either take a
passing
picture
each
or
other.
buy stuff.
Ooh, I did
Well,
too.
that's what.
Night Taylor, did you do the giant teapot on the way back? Because they said it's between Pittsburgh and Youngstown. It's actually in Ohio, I think.
No, I actually took so what I went so I came from when I came to Helvetia, I came through Morgantown.
Mm.
But then when I left, I went south towards Flatwoods and Sutton and then went to Charleston and then came back up to Point Pleasant. And then I went like through, I think, the bottom half of Ohio. So I was like on the other side of Ohio.
Oh, okay.
So I
Yeah.
didn't have time. Even when I went to the Mothman Museum, I didn't have time because it was like in the morning on Monday. And I'm like, well, I
You had a
stopped
long
at
drive.
Charleston Capitol Building, then Point Pleasant, and then drove home, which was like 12 hours from Point Pleasant.
When you said Wisconsin, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, those guys
Yeah,
came
not
from
even
North
Wisconsin,
Dakota.
like northern Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Well,
north.
Well, the guys
Northwestern
from North
Wisconsin,
Dakota
yes.
were going to DC.
Yeah, they were
So
going to DC and then
DC
they were
to
going
North
back.
Dakota, like they were going, yeah.
You know, it took me
I have
17
never-
hours to drive from DC to where I live.
Yeah.
I have never been on a
Crazy.
plane
Takes
that I thought
10.
was going to crash before until
About
this trip
10.
back. It hit such bad turbulence outside of Denver.
You were talking about that.
Yeah.
The overhead bins fell open and people were screaming.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's like to be in a haunted house, it's one thing that's fake and people are screaming. To be in a place where people actually think they're going to die. The plane dropped hundreds of feet and the wings were just bending. It's like, how much stress can this thing take? And it was terrifying, but it's like, what? And I'll never get this out of my head. Some little kid said when the mother was trying to calm her down afterwards, what scared you the most, which is the odd thing to ask, but she said that we can't get out of the plane. And it's like, that's exactly what I was feeling every moment of that.
Yeah,
It
you're
was
stuck in a
horrible.
metal tube in the sky. It's like,
Yes, looking at the ground from 35,000 feet or
Yeah.
however high it was.
well, and
But-
supposedly planes are safer than cars.
Yes.
And yet I choose to
I
drive when I
was
can.
relying on that.
Yeah. Well, I haven't flown in 17 years.
Huh.
I'm
So
not
guys,
trying to
I have some questions for you real quick. All right. So Taylor, one, where can people find you at if they want to watch your show? And do you have any social media you'd like to share?
Yeah, so right now I'm just on Twitch, Night Taylor 77, and then Twitter, same thing, Night Taylor 77. That's
Mm.
about it so far. I've thought
And-
about expanding into other social medias, but life gets in the way of that.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm on other social media and like everybody's on Twitter. So
Yeah,
We're gaming.
exactly.
So, and what they'll see on your Twitch is just you doing some 76 gameplay, a little bit of our RP group, right? Because we've been
Yep.
doing that. And then anything else that you're doing on your Twitch streams or anything?
I've been kind of experimenting with other things, but it's mostly 76 stuff. Yeah, like
Okay.
XP grinding, the scoreboards, just hanging out, launching nukes, DRPing. Yep, pretty much.
So, Chip, what do you got coming up next, and where can people find you?
You can find us on YouTube. It's just search the Chipmunk Show, Fallout 76. Otherwise, you'll get Alvin and the Chipmunks. So, but you'll find it, and then it's categorized by playlist. So you get season 1 of the sitcom, season 2 of the sitcom, We're currently about to start episode 3 of season 3. And then the travel show is, you can see the difference. There's live action shots for the travel show and then in-game shots for the sitcom, the opening cards. But so that's where everything is. And what's coming up is right now I'm going out to shoot Searchlight and that whole area. Next, we just posted one that's a Powder Gangers skit in the second half of Mountain Pass. So that one just posted last week. And then after that, we've got 11 more. And then our season finale is a big thing to Freeside, which is a take on the movie The Hangover. So
that should be interesting.
We're dying to do.
That sounds good.
Oh, wait. I'm not going to spoil it, but it is well worth waiting for. There's a number of community people that are going to be in that. Cass, who did Fall Girl Blues, who does Cass at the cosplay, and I won't spoil it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do it.
Excellent. Awesome. Yeah, that is so awesome. Now we've already gone through our social media. I just wanted to mention to everybody who's listening right now, if you really enjoyed this, don't worry. We will bring back Knight, Taylor, and Chip at some point. We will drag them back on the show, whether they like it or not, kicking and screaming. Taylor cannot avoid me.
Or me, now that he knows me.
Unless you join the Enclave, I won't avoid you.
Yeah, right.
Oh, was that me? He doesn't know about my other character, does he?
Oh, well.
Mags is not in the Enclave. Mags is going to go Brotherhood.
Hey, role playing in 76 is what makes 76. So I don't care what faction you are.
Mags.
We'll make it work somehow.
Mags will join the Brotherhood because
we literally saw a guy yesterday dressed as a turkey. So called himself Goose.
Yeah. They're
so
out there.
I'm still leaving stim packs at the vault.
They're out there
because I have to do my scouting duties. So
I leave gifts at the Overseers camp all the time for new players.
So folks, we already lost one of our hosts. Looks like
he went to take care of the baby.
Yeah, we're getting some lag drums here. Anyway, all right, folks. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you check out these guys' content. Please check out Chip, so. Yeah, check out Chip and Taylor on his Twitch stream. And Dawn, do you have anything? You got your name up there, so that's oops. Sassy lady.
I go by either. It doesn't matter.
I go by everything. So, is there anything you had left that you wanted to say before we run out of here?
No. Just wanted, if anybody had their experiences to share with us, who maybe has, jumped around West Virginia or anywhere and would like to share those experiences with us, send us an email. We're falloutrtb@gmail.com, or hit us up on Twitter at falloutrtb. We'd love to share experiences with you or chat with us in our Discord. We're Fallout Roundtable, or the Fallout Roundtable in Discord. I don't remember, it's in there.
You'll find us. But
you can find us.
If we get some really good stuff, hey, we might bring you on the show yourself.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we love to have guests and we love to talk about, all kinds of stuff. That's what we do here.
We're a bunch of Fallout nerds. That's our game.
Yeah.
Yay. All right,
folks.
I
can't thank you guys enough for having us. So
absolutely.
Thank you for coming on, both of you. I know you're probably all still tired from the trip.
I think I've recovered.
I'm working on it.
It was a pleasure having
Whiskey
you guys.
Works wonders.
Sassy, thanks for finding these guys and dragging them in here. I never got around to getting to. I was going to get to Taylor one day.
Yeah, you kept talking about it. Like, you got to get. We'll get.
I guess I'm more of a woman of action. I came home and I DM'd that baby.
She was everywhere.
That ex
she's like, ooh.
I was just like DM. I like everybody was getting hit, and he's like, yeah, sure.
Why not? All right, folks. You have a great night. Everybody say good night.
Good night.
All right, bye-bye.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.